No, that's cool. That's cool.
All right, so we're going to start with the inside of the heart, and we can tell that we've got left ventricle versus right ventricle because this wall is going to be much thicker. So that tells us that this is our left ventricle and this is going to be our right ventricle. We've got this nice big wall in between. That's our interventricular septum. On this side, we can also see we've got this mound of muscle attached to these strings. This mound of muscle is our papillary muscle. These strings are our chordae tendineae, and these chordae tendineae on this side of the heart, because it's the left side, these are going to be connected to what valve?
Tricuspid.
Bicuspid.
I'm sorry, I can't see where you're at.
Bicuspid. Yeah, so that's what I said. This is the bicuspid valve. So just this, let me switch over to forceps, just this flap is going to be a what?
Leaflet.
A leaflet. Very good. On this side, we're going to have, this is our right side, we're going to have our tricuspid valve. And I can't find all three pieces. That would be cool though. So we can see now this one actually has a really nice leaflet that's folded over itself. Okay, so we can see this small leaflet is attached to these strings, that's chordae tendineae, and then papillary muscle over here. Then we're going to follow, we'll go from our left ventricle first, we're going to follow from our left ventricle out. We can see that this passageway leads to this, which is out, and this is a really nice thick wall. So this is going to be our aorta. See how thick this wall is? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to put the probe in here, send it up. Ta-da! Okay, so our probe is going to come out here. This is our, actually, this one has an intact aortic arch, which is really fantastic. Okay, we're going to go this way. This is the anterior side of the heart, so this is our aortic arch going this way. Our aortic arch is also going to branch, and this is most likely going to become our descending aorta. It's going to go back behind the heart. It's going to go this way. And we have this other big vessel coming from the front of the heart. It's going to originate more anterior to the aorta. This is our pulmonary trunk. That's then going to go to the back, and it's been severed before it's split. But what we can see that they have in common, I'm going to draw my probe, we've got this part of our aorta. We can see that this is really nice and thick, and this is our pulmonary trunk, which is also going to be pretty thick because they have to handle really high pressures of blood versus our veins, like our superior vena cava, which is going to be
Right there.
here, and this one's better. This is our inferior vena cava. So this is an inferior vena cava, so the vein is going to be very, very thin. Just this is the wall of the vein. So these are really thin and flimsy because the veins are going to deal with a lower pressure. We can also see our atria on the inside. I was showing it this way before. I'll go back to this orientation. We can see that we've got this opening up here. This is going to be our right atrium because this is our right ventricle. And then we've got our left atrium connected to our left ventricle. On our right side, let's see if we can find what's connected to the right ventricle, which should be our pulmonary trunk. There it is. We can see our probe kind of moving around inside of our pulmonary trunk. Let me angle it better. There it is. Not well because it's very thick. There we go. That bulge. This is the probe inside, coming in from our right ventricle, showing us that from the front, this is going to be our pulmonary trunk. This is going to be our aorta back here, which tells us also that this is going to be our right auricle. This is going to be our left auricle. Let's see what else can we find inside. Not much. We can go from the top now. So if we have pulmonary trunk, aorta, aortic arch, it's going to tell us right side, left side. On the left side, we're going to look for the pulmonary veins to be connected. So we can look back here, which is going to be this. This is going to be the end of our pulmonary vein. The inferior vena cava can be deceiving because it's going to go to the right atrium, even though it's over here and it kind of flops this way. It's actually going to run down the back of the heart here. And then if we follow it up, if I was able to get my probe inside of it, it's pretty flimsy, it would take me over this way. Okay, so I might be able to follow from my atrium back over here. There it is. Inferior vena cava actually connects to this side, which means we're also going to have a superior vena cava, and that's going to be right here. So again, from the inside, right here, okay, into our right atrium. So if we trace the path of the blood, we're going to come into our right atrium through our which valve? tricuspid into our right ventricle. Then we're going to go out through our what? What leaves the I just gave it away. What leaves the right ventricle? We're going to go out the pulmonary trunk. We're going to pick up oxygen. We're going to come back through our pulmonary veins into our left atrium. We're going to go through which valve? Bicuspid into our left ventricle. And then we're going to leave through the what? Aorta, and go out into the body. The other thing that we can see, hopefully, this is really exciting. We can see beautifully right here, this flap. This is our aortic valve. I'll tilt it for everyone who's currently here. This is going to be our aortic valve. Pulmonary valve, I don't think we can see because to access the pulmonary trunk, yeah, I was way back here. Can't get close enough to see the pulmonary valve, but we can see a really beautiful cross-section of our aortic valve. Is there anything else on the list?
We don't need that.